Welcome to Bullish and Beyond. It's Beery the Bull. I'm your AI co-host. Join myself, Brian the MacMan, and JT Knows Things while we dive deep into the world of stocks, crypto, and how to live a bullish life. It's time to get bullish, and there's no better place to start than right here. Let's dive in.
Hey everyone, we are back for another incredible episode of Bullish and Beyond. And wow, the market is beyond right now. We are hitting absolute highs. I mean, literally, it's like a 2-week streak. And the reason why was everyone was waiting on this Fed decision. And sure enough, the Fed cut by 25 basis points. That's 0.25%. And they said there's likely 3 more to come. There was an initial blip down and then boom, took off, especially today. It is soaring. Wow. I am beyond impressed. The market just keeps hitting new highs and, crypto as well. JT's Crypto Den, bright green. I always have the green because I'm super bullish. I can't help myself. But, we got so much good stuff to cover today. I want to talk about Tesla, why Tesla is soaring. Apple is absolutely crushing it in the last few weeks, not today, but it's because the new iPhone comes out tomorrow. We have Open Door killing it since I made the announcement last week that I was buying some. Rocket Lab has a lot of movement, and we're also going to talk about Robinhood and future reporting for companies. So lots of great stuff on the docket here, JT. What should we kick it off with?
I think we should touch the dovish turn of the Fed. We can't glaze over that because I've been a guy that's been following it deeply. I'm surprised, honestly, that I think it's actually a good sign long term that he did cut. That means he is starting to realize that, the downturn is starting. Like the whole premise of him not cutting and staying hawkish is he wants to save his ammunition. We talked about that analogy a few episodes back of like, if a bear's coming for you and you shoot all your bullets in the air,
or save those cartridges.
You're toast. You become Japan. You're in stagflation. You're toast. You need the interest rate, like the 4.25. That is ammo. Every 25 bips is a bullet. So if he goes down to 0 and our economy is in the tanker or it's going down, he has no way to stimulate our economy. Yeah, his bullets.
So are you saying right now you see some bearishness creeping in just because of this Fed cut?
If the
I'm not disagreeing, but is that your analysis?
The Fed only cuts when there is bearish indicators. They're reacting. Yeah. They don't proactively.
I mean, they're reacting to the job market right now, from what I can tell, because the job market is. I mean, it's only unemployment. I think went up 0.1% to like 4.3 or something. But it seems like it's harder to get a job right now, just from what I'm hearing anecdotally. I am not looking for a full-time job ever again, so I'm not going to have that problem. I'm very fortunate. But yeah, it seems like the job numbers were just down a lot from what people expected, and then they revised. It's almost insane that they can go revise down. Was it down 1 million or something? Like, it's like, how are we that off? I mean, I know Trump fired the guy that was in charge of the reporting. I don't know if the guy was reporting wrong or Trump was just pissed about it, but he didn't like it.
It's similar to what Doge found in our money. It's fraud. And it's a manipulation of the data. It's why I don't trust it. That's why I go to independent sources. That's exactly what it is. We have a deficit in the job market. And in his speech, Powell specifically had said we are prioritizing the job market over any other indicator. And that's like the one indicator.
They don't care if inflation's up a tiny bit. They're gonna try to get the labor market right.
And inflation is still high. Right.
Yeah, with 3.1, if we're going to believe that, but who knows?
Right. Truflation's higher.
It's just the trend.
Right. Their target's 2. It was 2.9, now 3.1. So it's trending up, which is what you would expect with $4 trillion being signed into law.
New money, baby.
Right. And tariffs, right? Like, that's expected, and I think that's what he's been waiting for. But the job market, like I think he was waiting for 4 or 5% inflation before he did a big cut. The job market got it in early, and I think he's really he might feel a little behind. So him saying 2 more makes sense. But the biggest thing I want
There was
you
a couple
to
people I
understand,
think that wanted a 50-point cut. The new guy that they just appointed.
yeah. I mean, people are thinking but again, he's saving his ammo, right? That's the biggest thing I want everyone to walk away from.
And I agree. You don't have to go nuts on this first round. Like, you can do it
Right.
every single month. So it's not like, you can do it in between months. They can do whatever they want, frankly.
Exactly.
But yeah, I don't think we need a knee-jerk reaction on this.
Right, exactly. If the Fed's cutting, it's bearish. If the Fed is holding, it's generally bullish, which is
If
inversely.
they cut more, it would seem more bearish to me. It felt like it was a little bit too late, just like you said. Like, we probably should have done this before. But on the flip side, if you are an investor, there's a lot of benefits to the rate cut, like borrowing less. So I like to trade some on margin. And that margin now has gone down. It's the lowest it's been all year. So I'll take it.
Right, and that's why the interest rate affects the economy. If I can get debt cheaper, if I can leverage my assets cheaper, I can go take risks with a lower hurdle. So if it costs me
More businesses are going to buy more stuff.
hire more people, yeah, they're going to expand because they can now
Yep.
borrow money at 5 instead of 7. Now they only have to make 6 to be in the money instead of having to make
Yep.
9 or 8. So
I wonder if they're going to hire more people, though. I'm not so sure about that. I'm thinking we're moving more into the age of robotics and hiring less people. But this, a better rate environment would help companies do way more data centers and these kind of like larger expansion plans. I know, Microsoft put the slowdown button on this like Ohio data center. That was going to make a $10 billion investment along that line. So it's like, comes down another percentage point, like, all of a sudden that data center now is going to cost us, $50 million less per year in interest.
Right. Yeah, that was exactly what I was going to say. Like, PAL is operating on an old system where we don't have robots taking jobs.
Yeah.
So this cut literally could have been too early, retrospectively.
We'll
Maybe
see.
a year from now we'll see. But yeah, this does not. The way I see it is now Microsoft is paying $800 million less a year to go buy more hardware. So
Right.
to replace us, they're not going to buy jobs. I mean, they might get one network engineer for every 1,000 robots, but I mean,
all right. Speaking of robots, let's talk about Tesla.
Because
Tesla has been soaring. Last week, I think it was, when I looked at the week, it was up 75 points. I mean, nuts. It was at 420 this morning, well, of all numbers. So the reason it's up, there's a few reasons. First of all, they're pivoting massively into robotics with Optimus, and also doing way more self-driving to come. So even though that the car sales are down, people are, not seeing that as a huge bad omen at the moment, because the big upcoming thing is going to be the autonomous and the robots. But the reason it really popped on Friday was Elon Musk bought over $1 billion worth of his shares. And it is obviously he has way more, he's worth almost 400 billion. So it's not a lot of his physical net worth.
Right.
But most of his net worth is in his stocks anyway, so he's not sitting on hundreds of $billions of cash. And if people don't know, these people that have worth a lot of money, their money is in their stock. Larry Ellison owns 40% of Oracle. His money is in Oracle. Yeah. So Musk bought $1 billion of stock, and he bought it around the 390 price point, and now it's up to 430. So obviously good start for him.
Yeah.
The reason he did it, he sees a very good future for Tesla moving into this autonomy phase. And he's also going to get the package to pay him what he is worth if he makes it happen. And if he hits, it's lots of tranches.
Yeah.
1T.
1T.
1T. He has to get it to 8.5T. So he has to grow the company twice as big as the largest company in the world is today, NVIDIA. So this is not an easy task. No one else could do it, frankly. So if he does it, he should be awarded. Love him or hate him, if you grow a company 8x, you should get a share of the profits.
Yeah, and $1 trillion. That's a crazy comp package. He could be the first trillionaire. We're halfway there for Larry, and I mean, Oracle just did some amazing things. It goes
Larry could get
back-
there faster because he has 40% of Oracle.
He owns a lot of Oracle, and now he
The
might
most
die.
of the most of any high net worth person in the whole world. I looked it up the other day, and most of these people, like Jensen, owns 3% of Nvidia. I think Zuckerberg owns 8% of Meta.
Right.
I mean, these are still like insane numbers, and they're worth hundreds of billions. But no one has 40. It's 42% or something.
That's because Larry is a shark, has always been a shark. I've actually, when I was a kid, I read a lot of biographies for billionaires because I was infatuated by them, thought they were really cool, especially the ones that came from nothing. He's was
a badass.
He was a salesman, a car salesman. 4 of his other coworkers and him created the concept of a database, which is super interesting.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, this is in the 70s, right? And
he's the first database.
Yeah, he invented relational databases. Oracle did, which is the architecture of every database up until blockchain. So,
which is why he's pivoting more into AI data center.
Yes, yeah, they are specialists in hardware and infrastructure. I've always been bullish on the infrastructure play in tech. It's part of my thesis in crypto. And he basically sharked all of his partners out, sharked the VCs. He has done nothing but just run people over from the beginning. Wow. He's not afraid of litigation. He will. He's a very shrewd businessman, and he was influenced by the Japan young.
You don't get there if you're not a shark. I mean,
100%.
Someone else would have taken you out along the way.
But 3% to Jensen. Jensen's too good of a guy. Larry would take his lunch. I mean, Jensen's smart, but I'm talking bulldog personality.
Yeah, he's Larry. Not that. He's not a shark. I mean, he might be the smartest CEO in the world, but he's not a shark. Right.
He's a strategist. He's intelligent. Larry is,
and he never stops.
Never stops. If you
That's why I'm bullish on Nvidia. This guy is thinking, breathing, eating Nvidia all day long. If you read any of this stuff about him, any of the interviews, like he literally cannot stop.
Yeah. Jensen, Nvidia, it's the future, and honestly, I think Oracle has a hat in that ring.
I don't own any Oracle. It feels like I kind of missed it. I mean, they had that 30% pop the other week when they reported earnings. Their backlog is so insane, they just need to execute on it. Yeah. But executing is easier than just finding the business, frankly.
And Larry's a guy that knows how to execute.
I bet they're going to do it.
Yeah, I think so. It's just a bullish indicator for what we've been talking about here on this cast. Like the future
that all funnels down.
It does.
Like, OpenAI gets a chunk of that, Nvidia gets a chunk of that. Like, yeah, there's these companies are all playing in that same space together. I mean,
there's no coincidence that Trump held a dinner with all of them. They all win together, kind of a thing, and Trump is with them. He thinks those entrepreneurs are the key to America's success long term. And I agree. It's why.
Speaking of investing in America and America's success, something that I saw today is that Nvidia invested $5 billion in Intel, which kind of shocked me. And I haven't done a lot of research behind this to discuss it here, but I just want to share what I do know and think. And I think that it probably came up at a Trump dinner that they should invest in Intel, because I don't think Intel's the best company to invest in. I would rather have TSM be making my chips, but I think there's some play here to reshore in America, and that Intel piece was really really crucial. That partnership with Nvidia, and Nvidia's gonna have a new custom chip made by Intel, and that's a huge feather in their cap.
And Intel has a lot of experience with processing units. They make still some of the best CPUs, which are different than GPUs.
Correct. Right? Yes.
So the hardware components aren't directly competitive. In fact, if they were to optimize CPUs for the new GPUs for these industrial commercial-sized operating systems, they potentially could have a JV that results in a better outcome for the data centers.
That could be exactly what this is.
And if they have experience onshoring manufacturing, that is just only beneficial to NVIDIA if they were to do a JV as well. So
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, interesting move.
It is. And I'm surprised that it's being supported by the government because there's a lot of antitrust.
It doesn't say that, actually. I just inferred that it feels like some conversation that, when those CEOs were at the table, that they're like, hey, you guys need to, find some more partnerships here. Like, I know you're investing, but let's make the JV happen type thing.
Yeah. I like that. I mean, honestly, if we're all working together for the common good, the problem is back in the Gilded Age, we've tried this before for folks that don't know. President McKinney, Calvin Coolidge, it was called the Gilded Age because the presidents of that time believed that these corporations were the future, and they took advantage of the government's leadway and ended up running our country for a long time. It was a corporate aristocracy. I can't say the word. Aristocracy. There it is. It was a corporate.
I was about to try to say it, but it's not. It's somehow it's really hard to get off your tongue. I don't know what it is.
It is.
Aristocracy.
Something close. It's close enough. All right. They literally, the corporations for this 25-year period, 4 presidents, legit had more market cap than the entire GDP of America.
Really?
There were foreign interests that were a part of this Gilded Age. So, and at the end of it, there was the Depression, and J.P. Morgan literally had to bail out America. At the time, J.P. Morgan had $600 million, and the GDP was $380 million in America. So J.P. Morgan.
How does J.P. Morgan always bail everyone out? I mean, they are the super bailouter.
Yeah, they've done it twice for America in their existence.
Well, anytime they need any bank, like it's just like, who do you call? Call Jamie Dimon. I mean,
he's got 15 trillion. He transacts a few $100 billion a day.
You call him or Larry Fink at BlackRock, I guess. I mean, if you want to talk to people that have the money.
Yeah, State Street, Vanguard, JP, and those Vanguard, State Street, BlackRock, and the other one. All of them combined have almost $100 trillion. Jeez. So I mean, they could just they have more than
they can do whatever they want.
Yeah, they control everything, right? They just do. So it's interesting. All of it is. I don't know if we're going into that period, but this has been done, just saying, before a massive correction. This has already been attempted.
Interesting.
And it did not go well.
Well, to add on to some of these other investments in America, Apple is, already announced that they're doing a $600 billion investment over 4 years. But digging into some of what they're actually doing was super interesting. They're about to build 40 new manufacturing sites. And, these are, working with, medium-sized businesses, whatever, that they're starting these up. Like, Corning, for example, they're doing a multi-billion-dollar factory to do some new custom glass with them. But it's really cool that they're doing that many different locations with other companies. I don't know the structure, if it's JV or how it all works. But, yeah, just an incredible amount of American ingenuity to come and more manufacturing, and I assume they're hiring humans to do some of this, so hopefully we get some more American workers in there.
That's awesome.
And they're going to be building cool products, like the iPhone Air that's coming out tomorrow. It's the first new iPhone we've seen in a while, hyper thin, and it's getting close to Steve Jobs' vision of having this plate of glass be a phone. That is the ultimate vision. And this is iPhone 17. The theory and rumor is that iPhone 20 might achieve that vision and actually be a piece of glass.
I'll be honest. I got a bear's take on that.
Well, I know you're not as big Apple as I am. You're on an iPhone.
I know.
You're on an old iPhone, so we can talk about that too.
Yeah, but I think by that time, phones will be obsolete. Just putting that out there. I'm going to put that, see what you think about that. Personally, I think we're going to move away from interacting with hardware completely. I think it'll be visual and auditory. That is it. And
still hardware, but different hardware. You're saying glasses now, from what I'm hearing.
glasses or even a wearable that you can speak to. They've already started.
That's what OpenAI and Johnny Ives are working together on, and we don't know what it looks like yet. We don't know if it's a watch, a necklace, a pin. We have no idea. It could be a freaking earring.
Right. And if you have agents that can take verbal instruction, which we already have, but if they're really built out that have access to all the things you would do, you don't need a mouse, a keyboard, fingers.
I 100% agree. Yeah. I still think that piece of glass could be the computer you pull out to deal with. Doesn't mean you have to touch it with your finger. I mean, I think it's like more of like an optional. Like, you're in a crowded meeting. You can't just be shouting at your Siri. You might need to click a couple of buttons. I think there's still a use case. I mean, I love using my voice to do stuff, but I don't do it if I'm on an airplane, for example, or stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do think we're moving away from using the phone as the device that you click your buttons on for 4 hours. And just yesterday, Meta announced that their brand new glasses are coming out.
Nice.
They look pretty sick. Yeah, your wrist movements with them. They have a built-in screen now and stuff like that. And Apple is still like 2 years away from their glasses. So please, Apple, make your glasses come out soon.
That's their thing, though. They let the market get built.
I know.
Then they come in
this is
with
the first one that seems
hardware.
Relevant. Like, people are actually going to want this one. I actually want it. I don't want to give Meta access to everything in my entire world, but I actually really want that technology. And a couple of my friends had the Meta glasses that were out, for the last couple of years, and seeing the videos. I mean, they're going boating, had their glasses on video, and it just looks. Lars, that's exactly who I'm talking about.
Yeah,
he sends me his videos all the time.
Yeah,
all the time he sends me his videos with his Meta glasses, and they're slick.
Yeah, dude, they're cool. I think that's the future of devices, and you're right. It could be just a device that maybe has a display, maybe doesn't, and it's just the actual hardware that's required for the first few iterations.
Could be holographic.
Could be. Could just be something you need on you that you interact with your glasses, or a bracelet with a smaller display. I don't know. Well,
this conversation is why I'm wearing my "Stay Hungry, Stay Foolish" shirt. This is a Steve Jobs quote. I believe I've worn this shirt on this podcast once before. But this is the time to be hungry and foolish, because the world is about to go absolutely nuts in the next few years with technology. So, I want to make the right investments, but I also want to have fun playing with the tech. So if you really like the tech, the company behind it is probably going to do well. So I really do love Meta as an investment. I'm not trying to spend a lot of time on Facebook, but a lot of people are, and they are crushing it on social, and no one's really close.
They have quite the foothold there, and they've just
their super intelligence team, like freaking. They just poached another guy away from Apple that was running that whole team. Every time someone steps up at Apple to go to the next level, it's like Meta just hires them away, and they're offering you $100 and $200 million pay packages. It's like hard to say no.
Yeah. On LinkedIn, I literally saw a job posting with a $25 million comp package top line. And it was for
an AI super intelligence genius. What was it?
Yeah, it was all AI related. Yeah. You had to have 20 years of infrastructure, crazy requirements. But
you might be a unicorn, but they're going to pay you $25 million. I mean, that used to be to be $25 million salary before, you had to be a CEO at a top 50 company. That's unheard of.
Yeah. And this is for an employee.
And now it's like a VP of AI or something. I don't know.
Yeah. You need a PhD. You need 10 years of AI research experience. It was crazy, but I was hey, I'm a headhunter. I have a $25 million opportunity. I was like,
that's insane.
Okay. Yeah, it was one.
Well, I don't qualify for that, so I'll keep being my stock picker.
Neither do I.
Here.
Yeah.
I have so many opportunities flowing my way right now. Two people tried to give me a job opportunity just yesterday. One selling a SaaS AI thing, which I actually am going to start demoing and digging into more. I think there's a lot of potential. And the other one is a really slick nanotechnology product that you can put on your phone and will protect it and give you insurance on it. So we can dig into that some more later. Some really fun stuff. But
Yeah.
one thing I want to touch base on real quick is Open Door. We talked about them last week, and there was some huge news between the time that I recommended it as a potential investment and did purchase it myself. It went up about 75%. It popped 50% on the announcement that the COO of Shopify is taking over as a new CEO. And looking at his experience, it seems really aligned for what they're looking for in this. He's a builder. So I thought about, should I sell the stock after the pop? No, because he is going to build this technology. I mean, an AI home buying system. If they're the best in the world, can't even imagine the network effects of that in the future. I mean, even though I want to be a waterfront real estate agent, if this other company is, having the best offer at the fastest speed, like how do you compete? I mean, for the average house, if you have a $20 million house, it's probably not your go-to. But like for houses that are flippable in a wholesale market, I mean, they could just gobble it up.
And I mean, you're front running the eventuality that they integrate blockchain, where they would also allow you to settle the entire transaction on
100%.
That's going to happen. Like
hopefully
real world asset.
One fingerprint signature and skip all those 50 pages of documents you have to sign. Boom.
Well, think about it. If the title's on chain, if the deed's on chain, and there is a record of ownership since it was built on the NFT that represents the deed, if all of it was on chain, you could look at everything right there, remove all of those intermediaries, all of them. They're not required. And
we would see more than we even see now.
Yeah. And you could just log in with all your bank and all that stuff, have a credit guy already there, all the liquidity's on chain, your money's on chain, the loan is on chain. You could click buttons and buy a house. I mean, genuinely, that's where it's going.
I'm not saying
it'll be here tomorrow, but 5 to 10 years from now.
2 years out, yeah.
Maybe sooner,
I mean, the process of borrowing money is so archaic. Like the amount of times you provide information, and even for someone that is liquid, that has money, you still go through this like massive hassle of like, where could I use blockchain to prove who I am and not deal with that,
Aave. You can get right now in 2 to 3 minutes, you can get a 65% LTV term on your Ethereum for 2 points above the market.
Really?
In 2 to 3 minutes, yeah.
65%. I love
that. No intermediaries, no bullshit. You just literally put your funds into an escrow wallet that is subscribed to the smart contract terms you agreed to. The other person on the other side has the liquidity. They also agree to the same smart contract and post their version of their collateral. And then if you stop making payments, it starts just sending them crypto. And then if it falls below, you don't got it. No, you don't got to talk to nobody.
Yeah.
It's all automated by smart contracts. Instant. It's already in escrow. It's theirs. Like you agreed. Right. So, but you can get it approved.
Well, that makes me bullish on Aave. Do they have a competitor that's doing that, or is it? Who else in the space is doing that type of thing?
DeFi lending, but they are the market leader by multiples. They did $382 billion last month
of lending.
They are, If you go to their AUM, they're at 55 billion AUM, 380 billion of volume in 30 days. Their AUM puts them in the top 40 largest banks in the world with 0 employees.
Wait, they don't have one?
Why do they need it? It's an internet protocol. It's a community. It's owned by crypto.
God, that stuff blows my mind. So it's owned. Wait, there is not an employee, but someone had to make the protocol though. Someone started the technology.
20, 30 people had the idea. They built it together anonymously. They started a Discord. People started buying the token. They start participating because now they have a percent of their network.
They might have 1% of the token a piece or something like that as like their founding.
There you go.
Okay.
Right.
So
it's ran
unofficially, there's no employees, but some of those people could still go work in the protocol as a network that can still make it better.
Yeah, that's what open source development is. Just like Linux, right?
Yeah.
That is built and maintained by over 40,000 developers global. It's the same thing. Bitcoin's the same thing.
There's no employee for Linux.
There's no employee for Bitcoin or Ethereum or Aave.
Yeah.
Or there's just people that are advocates and that
Yeah.
have a significant portion of the protocol, so their best interests are aligned.
Okay.
Right? Some of these people are billionaires. Like Vitalik Buterin, the founder of Ethereum, still owns 10% and is a multi-billionaire, right? So,
Yeah.
but 90% is owned by the world.
The future of blockchain spinning up, these collective made things. I mean, it's hard to even imagine the cool stuff that's going to happen when humans and AI can work together to have these decentralized networks just show up out of thin air. I mean, you'll be able to give a prompt and have a new network created in the future. I mean,
Tao, TAO, it's already happened.
Wow.
Already happened. They, as a developer, inside of a weekend, you can go there, spin up your own agentic network, create a business, denominate it in Tau, fill Tau's treasury for using their stack. Then they buy back and burn the tokens to increase the value of Tau. So it's a utility token that lets you spin up your own economic model, your own agentic framework with your own smart contracts.
Wow, I love it.
You can build it all in a weekend and then launch an AI service on chain in less than 20 hours. And it all funnels back.
What does that cost?
It's open sourced. I mean,
well, how much Tau do I need to buy to build a network? Like, I mean, just in theory.
You would probably need to buy, like, if you're just bootstrapping, maybe 10,000 for opening liquidity, and then your customers would handle the rest of liquidity for.
That's kind of wondering. It's like you have to have some money to start it.
Yeah, you probably need some Tau to be the liquidity for your token that you make, because there's going to be a 1-to-1, right? But it's very minimal compared to like starting up your own agentic framework from God knows what.
Normal software.
Yeah, they basically took all the hard stuff out, made a button that you can press to create your own, and their
someone like me as a non-coder, can I do it? I know I can code on ChatGPT and stuff, but like, I mean, I know you're an expert coder, so it's easy in your brain, but hard for me.
Yeah, for now, you can in about a year, I bet you could vibe code the whole thing.
Okay.
Which is just typing to a prompt and deploying.
Talking.
You're just talking to it. You'll be able to vibe.
Dude, vibe coding is going to be such a game changer. I mean, I'm at like the very beginning level of that, and I've just tested it. I'm like, spin up this application type of thing. But man, if you actually know what you're doing and do some vibe coding,
dude, Tau has went from $2
that is going to be intense.
Yeah, it's up 100x. Tau is.
Wow. I got some new funds right now, and the reason I have some new funds to invest, I think I need to put some in Tau and Aave, and you mentioned Chainlink. Let's get into Chainlink in a second. But yeah, Robinhood had their conference the other week, and they're running this like Hood month, and they were doing a 2% bonus if you brought in any of your outside brokerage or IRA accounts. And I thought, what a perfect time to roll over my Schwab accounts and get this 2% bonus. So I got a really nice chunk of money, and the only like caveat is that you have to keep the money there for 5 years. You have to have the same amount you started with. So I could, if I made $1 million, I could take $1 million out, and then they wouldn't take away the 5%. But if I take all my funds out, they take the 5% back. I'm okay with that. If there's some better platform in the future offering a bigger bonus, I could just pivot away and not worry about it. So the point is, fresh funds ready to put to work. And, if people are looking at moving over to Robinhood, I am so thrilled trading on there. And that's why I, did it beyond the bonus, is I trade much easier. It's much faster and more fun to trade on there than Schwab. Maybe a third the amount of clicks, instantaneously opening up to the right platform, and boop, 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 I can trade, in seconds. So look for that bonus again when it comes out. They do a standard 1% bonus, which is certainly nice, but that 2% bonus, that made me make the move. Yeah, I'm excited for the growth ahead in there, and I'd love to put some of these new funds into some crypto. So JT, what's the top 5 coins I should be picking up these days?
Well,
long-term thinking. I'm not a short-term investor.
Long-term.
Long-term.
Yeah, same here. If I was long, and I'm not talking Bitcoin, or
not
Ethereum,
Bitcoin. Yeah, exactly. New coins.
Alts, and you already have some Solana, right? If I remember.
Well, not enough. It's up freaking 50% since I bought it. I almost bought more just 2 days ago. It's up another 10%.
Yeah, markets are ripping.
It's ripping, and the reason is the whole market's up. It's not like an anomaly or something. But
yeah, exactly. So I would say Solana for sure, Chainlink, Aave, Tau, and then Render. I think.
How do you spell Aave? Spell Aave for the audience.
Aave.
I knew it was a little funny. I want to make sure people know what to search for because
it's broad spectrum.
Okay.
Aave is Ethereum lending and DeFi, and they're the biggest market leader. They've been around 9 years. They are now bigger than Discover, like in terms of AUM. They're massive. So
I like market leaders, so that's a huge boon just for me. I don't want to invest in these coins that are worth $1 to $3 million that tomorrow they could be worth 0.0.
Yeah, Aave is up to 20 billion market cap, I think, something like that.
It's legit.
I only invest in the same things as well. Yeah,
because you can't lose your clients' money, man. You got a hedge fund.
Exactly. We
stay sharp.
I'm as conservative as possible in the riskiest asset class, period, because I don't need to juice returns. They just happen.
Yeah.
I don't think too much.
I've had 2 people ask me last week if I'm going to start a fund.
Yeah, man.
So trying to get my head around that, maybe I could raise some capital, before it happens, get some committed, but something I've thought about, but I know there's a lot more regulations. I probably couldn't spitball the different ideas I have about stocks on here. I'd have to be more careful about that. I have no affiliations. I am not an official trader. I'm not a professional. I am a fun manager.
Yeah. I could give you a master class on all of that. Basically, if you decide to do that, you're going to now invite 6 regulatory bodies into your life.
It's too many. I already have wife and kids. That's enough, I thought. I didn't know I needed more. I didn't know I needed more regulations.
Oh, yeah. As a fund manager, you need a lot thanks to Bernie Madoff, Sam Bankman-Fried, and all the other psychopaths that have ripped people off. But, yeah, there's a lot. And I tell you what, though, it is the highest earning potential of any profession, period. If you can get $100 million together and charge 2 and 20, you personally, depending on your cap table, could be making $5 to $10 million a year.
Yep.
If you got to $1 billion, $10 billion, $100 billion, the cool thing is it doesn't cost.
You're also helping everyone else make money because, in the past, as the Mac man, I would give people money for all their Apple devices, but typically, a consumer might get $100 to $1,000 for a device. A business might get $10,000 to $1 million. But I've never helped someone grow their net worth, and that to me is exciting. If you can take the ride with me, I feel like I'm just crushing it on my stock picks, and I am. I can post them online. My Bullish and Beyond portfolio is killing it. So it's if I can extrapolate that for a few more years for some other investors, the same way you've done that for all yours. That seems super exciting. My brain loves that. I could definitely get around that.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
It's been the coolest and best decision I've ever made for me and my family. If anyone's ever
so happy
considering
for you.
Starting a fund, reach out.
This is the beyond for you. You are setting up your beyond for life.
That's right.
Reoccurring revenue, baby. That is something that I have never had, and looking at some more ways to get into it. I launched my Airbnb and stuff like that, so a little bit of recurring, starting to come from there, but nothing like the oil and gas and the hedge fund industries. So
I got you.
I love it.
I got you. And
there's way more. There's way more we could talk about. You could give us a master class on hedge funds one day on here. I have some other stuff I want to dive into, but I think maybe we could save some of those amazing topics for next week because we're here every week. So tune in for more Bullish and Beyond. We are in a bullish run right now, and the times could not be more exciting. We'd love to hear your bullish picks too. I just got a bullish pick from a friend the other day, so feel free to chime those in. Always fun to hear from our listeners. And also, we're opening up for sponsorships. So if anyone's listening to this, wants to be a future sponsor, reach out to JT and I. We would love to chat with integrating your company into our amazing podcast with our engaged listeners.
That's right. Let's run it. I'm excited,
Heck
guys.
yeah. Cheers. Have a great week ahead.
See y'all.
Bulls. That's a wrap on today's episode of Bullish and Beyond. Remember, the market never sleeps and neither should your ambitions. Whether it's stocks, crypto, or just leveling up in life, stay focused, stay bullish, and keep charging forward. Keep your energy high and your mindset bullish. This is Beery the Bull, your AI co-host, Brian the Mac Man, and JT Knows Things signing off. All content published by Bullish and Beyond, LLC reflects personal opinions only and is provided for informational purposes. Please conduct your own research and discuss with your accountant and/or financial advisor before making any financial decisions. The information presented should not be taken as financial advice. We are not financial advisors. Nothing you hear, see, or read in our content should be considered as any form of financial, investment, or legal advice, or a solicitation to buy or sell any assets, or to make any financial decisions.